Alright, so my name's Joey Cudmore. I work for a company called Fire Service Plus. We're based out of Fayetteville, Georgia. Currently we're in over 6,000 fire departments. We sell international in 42 countries. A little background on the owner. This company's owned and all the products were developed by a gentleman named Ron Thames. 35 years ago he was an air traffic controller at Atlanta Airport. They were talking about building tunnels and runways and what if fuel got down these tunnels and how would they extinguish it. He went home and started reading books and literally self-taught him all this technology. He wasn't a chemist and he wasn't a scientist. He just was passionate about fire, wanted to make a difference, and develop these products. I say that to say this. He didn't have the chemistry background, so when he was developing his product, he used organic food grade type ingredients, where a lot of the other foams that are on the market are man-made synthetics and so forth, done by chemists and scientists and so forth. So a little different in our technology versus all the other products that are on the market. In 2012, a guy named Juan Pablo hit a jet dryer. I don't know if y'all are race fans will remember that, but he slammed into a pickup truck that had 200 gallons of kerosene in it. Punctured a hole in that tank. We had a three-dimensional fire. I'm on pit row seeing these guys fighting this fire with, hundreds of Purple K extinguishers. That was what they like to use to put out the fires out there. Purple K is a product that was developed to put out brake fires on aircraft. Works really good, but for that big three-dimensional fire, it wasn't the right product to be fighting that type of fire that day. So when I saw that, the next day I called the owner of FireAde. I didn't know him, I just knew of his product. Introduced myself, and 2 weeks later we had a meeting with Nascar right here in Concord. 2 weeks after that I drove to Gainesville, Florida, didn't know anybody in drag racing, just showed up, said, hey, I got a product just like I'm doing here. They're like, yeah, sure kid, set up at the end of the strip, went down, did a demo for them, and now NHRA switched to it that same weekend. They switched to the product. Now we've got NASCAR, NHRA, Monster Jam, World Outlaws, Lucas Oil Boat Racing, all different forms of motorsports using the FireAde brand with the Enforcer equipment that we make. We'll talk about the equipment here in a minute. But the only reason fire departments can put out house fires is they literally got to use hundreds and thousands of gallons of water because of that right there. Water has surface tension. How they measure that is called dynes. Water is 72 dynes worth of surface tension. It takes lots of water to be able to push it down into simple Class A material. It's not something that you can pop the bubble or anything, it's just the makeup of water. FireAde reduces it from 72 dynes down to 16 dynes. We make the water the wettest in the industry. 20 to 30 times wetter by making it the water go down to 16 dynes. So when you batch mix FireAde into, whether it be our Enforcer equipment or on your engine or whatever, and you mix the two, I didn't have to shake it for it to go in suspension. It doesn't turn that water pink, and it'll have an unlimited shelf life. It's always going to look just like that. But now when you pour that same water, drop it onto the cardboard, within seconds it's down to the honeycomb. So it's a good visual to see how we're making that water wetter, okay? I can take one little drop of this product, touch that one field, and it broke the surface tension. It even went over and touched the other one and broke that one as well. So it only takes a small amount to break the surface tension and make that water to start penetrating. So you can see, would you want to fight the fire with that that's already down into the honeycomb, or something that's going to sit on top for days, not even penetrating? When I went to NASCAR and NHRA and all them, I said, look, if I could buy you guys an extra 30 seconds if a driver was trapped in a fully involved car fire, would you be interested in what I got? And they're like, yeah, sure, how are you going to do that? This is basically what I showed them. I said, look, that towel can catch fire pretty quick. A little bit of FireAde. Now I can take that torch, 500 degrees, and it doesn't burn my hand. And the reason is I made the water 20 to 30 times wetter, so it's going to take longer for it to dry out before it burns my hand, right? That's right. I want y'all to think it's trick drag. So as long as the product's wet, it's doing its job, okay? When it dries out, it doesn't have any more goodies. Right here it ain't. Down at the seats and all on both sides. Don't be wasting it on the outside, into the car. Down on the floor first, that's where the base is at. All right, up underneath this hood real quick. Right up there. There you go. Watch out. Go around back. Round back. Round back. Back window. There you go. That one boy, I told him I sprayed this with FireAde before we put it in there, and that was in that fire the whole time. It was wet. Okay, 6-8 minutes, whatever we had there, and it never burned it. Remember which one of you I told you it wouldn't burn? So here it is. It sat right there in the top of that fire on top of that top pallet. So every bit of heat was on that thing for 7-8 minutes.